Hello and welcome to ET Now. You're watching IPO Central, and company in focus today is Atlanta Electricals. It's a power transformer manufacturer, and it gets a lot of orders from the power sector. The company's IPO is opening on September 22nd, closes on 24th. Price between 718 to 754 rupees per share. It's a fresh issue of 402 and OFS of 287. So roughly around 687 crores in the IPO which is coming in. And joining me today is Mr. Niral Patel, who is the chairman and managing director of the company, and Mr. Akshay Mathur, who is the CEO of the company. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today on ET Now. To begin with, sir, Mr. Patel, can you give us a sense of your company's journey and also the business model that you have?
So Atlanta Electricals is into power transformer business. We manufacture power transformers mainly required for transmission and power generation. We have 4 plants in Gujarat and 1 plant in Bangalore. The main focus right now, till now, was 220 kV. We are now venturing into higher rating of transformers, that is 400 and 765. And we would like to tap that market. Till 220 kV, we were mainly present in the state transmission companies. Now we shall be venturing into the central transmission companies as well, like Power Grid Corporation of India. That's for it, sir.
Yeah, and you mentioned about the fact that it's a sector which has grown, on a very speedy level, and I can see that from your top line as well. Growing from 870 odd crores to 1244 in the last 2 to 3 years, which is there. How do you see power sector as a whole in terms of demand coming in for companies like you, especially T&D companies, and what is the scalability that you have within your company with respect to the ongoing scenario?
So demand in this sector is quite huge. When India historically was mainly focusing on adding megawatts of power generation, we are now looking at gigawatts of power generation. So much of power demand is there in terms of the mobility sector, data centers, railways, EVs coming in, and with the growing population, India has huge demand for power. And that's it. That's exactly what is offsetted by the generation. Eventually, the transmission network also would require a huge level of upgradation, and that's where our products come into place, where we supply transformers for the generation side also and the transmission side also. It has seen significant demand, and the demand is going to be there for at least next coming 5 to 7 years. Because even power generation capacity adding will take time, and we're seeing that as we speak.
Mr. Mathu, can you take us through your capacity there? Because you're sitting on, if I'm not wrong, order book of roughly around 1600 odd crores. What is the kind of capacity that you have, and the capacity utilization which is there, and what is the kind of order book that you can manage in a year? I'm trying to get the scalability of your operation here.
Sure, thank you very much. Capacity of the transformer is measured in MVA. So till last year, we had a capacity of 16,600 MVA to produce in a year, which with 2 new plants which we have put up, one in green plant, which is in Vadod, and another one which acquisition we have done from Baudi. Total capacity of our company will become 63,000, which is almost 4 times of what we had last year. Although it will take some time to ramp up the new units, but still we will be one of the biggest manufacturing company of transformer in India.
And what is the kind of debt that is there on the books as you speak? Because you're raising the fresh issue, which includes repayment of borrowings to the tune of nearly 79 crores. So what is the debt which will be there after you repay this 79 crores?
Historically, sir, the company was long-term debt-free. We had very minuscule debt. However, the acquisition that we've done and the greenfield project that we've put up, we've generated debt about close to 340 odd crores. And we would be utilizing the money to the proceeds from the IPO to offset the debt, meaning repay the debt to its fullest.
You're also raising money for working capital, and that's understandable because your exposure is to state utilities and power companies. What is the normal receivable days that you have from state utilities, and when you are raising this working capital, what is the purpose of that?
Sir, main demand comes, like I said, the main demand comes from the transmission sector. And in the transmission sector, majority of such transmission companies are government backed. So yes, we deal with a lot of transcoms, and we will be dealing with central company called Power Grid Corporation of India. Over the time, sir, they have matured significantly. We see a lot of these transmission companies stabilizing themselves in terms of their systems, in terms of their working style, professionalizing themselves. We don't see much lag in terms of receivables, and that is exactly what is reflected in the numbers of the company. About 70% of our order book comes from the state transmission companies, and about 30% comes from independent power producers, EPC contractors, large corporates is where we get our orders from. Like I said, time to come, state transmission companies are even going to get more professionalized, and they will be evolving themselves because the capex that they are required to put in are also huge.
Mr. Matu, if you can give a comment on the margins front, 15.5% margin for FY25, they have fallen off from FY24 level where it was around 19.8. Is there a reason why it has fallen, and do you see a pricing pressure coming in this segment as capex or more and more orders come into various companies, and because we have a target of power generation to meet by 2030. So are you seeing price competition coming into this space?
So, sir, I would like to correct you. From 2024 to 2025, the margins have improved, in fact, and we don't see much of the price pressure coming in near future. Because I said, the demand is huge, and our country is lacking in terms of capacity. That is where players like us come into play, where we have built significant amount of capacity to support the power growth journey of our nation. We would also be looking at the export markets in times to come, which would ensure a stable margin growth for the company.
What is the kind of receivables that you normally have from your clients, which is state utilities?
So receivable stands close to about 90 to 110 days. That's the receivable cycle of the state transmission companies. Bear in mind, sir, these transformers that we make in our facility are huge in size. It takes time to transport these transformers to faraway locations, and since we deal with pan-India basis, sending transformers all the way to Punjab or say Tamil Nadu from Gujarat takes about 35 to 40 days, and that is what adds up to the receivable cycle.
Okay, and how do you manage the working capital there, because there is a larger receivable cycle? So, is there a management? How do you manage it so that it's minimum in that sense?
So, sir, we have stable systems in place. We have a proper marketing network in each of the states and where we have customers, where we do continuous follow-ups and touch base upon them so that the working capital is managed in an efficient way. And this is an industry standard working capital. Compared to others, the company would be doing even better.
Can you also give us a split of your order book between state utilities and private sector? And is green energy turning out to be a big sector or order book supplier for you?
So yes, to answer, India is adding power generating capacity. These capacities are coming in mainly from the renewable space, and the renewable space we're talking about wind and solar, where Atlanta has a strong presence. We have prototyped a unit of a product called inverter duty transformers, and these are mainly used for solar applications. We have huge penetration in this type of market. When we add solar generating capacities, these transformers are required at a solar generating site. And of course, there will be interim transformers required and then final pooling transformers required. So every megawatt, sir, is generated in in the nation. To transport that megawatt to the end consumer, a thumb rule says that about 7 megawatts of transformers would be required to have efficient energy transmission. And that's where the transformers that we have developed for solar application and transmission comes into play. The order book split is close to about 70%, which comes from the state transmission companies, and 30%, which comes from the independent power producers, IPPs, EPC contractors, and large corporates. Over and above, close to about 10 to 12% of our order book would be straight coming from imported duty transformers.
Okay. Can you also tell us a sense of is there a opportunity that you see with respect to power sector, especially when new tenders are talking about battery energy storage system? Is that something an area that you will look at some point in time, or is an opportunity for you being a power transformer manufacturer?
Power generating in terms of solar, storing in terms of battery, yes, definitely transformers would be required. We definitely see that as an opportunity. Like I said, eventually newer technologies will come, newer products will come, and transmission networks for that would be definitely required. And that's where we would be, staying ahead of the curve, like the imported duty transformer that we manufactured. The first prototype was in 2022, where we actually had a 5-year vision, and we got a prototype developed well in advance. So that's the ideology of the company, to stay ahead of the curve and develop newer and newer products.
Final question. You initially spoke about the fact that you are venturing into high MVA transformers. What is the kind of growth that you see in that segment, and do you see more orders flowing now that you're going into that high end transformers?
Yes, that is one whole new different market that we're going to open for the company, and there is a huge potential in our country for those type of transformers. When we say they are ultra high voltage transformers, meaning 400 kV class 500 MVA transformers and 765 kV class 500 MVA transformers. There's a huge potential because the amount of energy that we generate and the geographical distance that is there for transporting that kind of power, these large transformers would be required. There is a shortage of supply in our country as we speak, and the newer capacities that we build is targeted to address the shortage. So the potential is significantly good in those kind of transformers.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure talking to you today. Your IPO is opening on 22nd of September, closes on 24th. 718 to 754 is the price band, and it's a 687 crore issue, and it values the company at little closer to 5,800 crores at the upper end of the price band. Thank you very much for joining us today on ET Now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.